Excuse me. Are you fishing right over there? You going up? I wanted to cross here. I didn't want to like blow up your whole pool.
Yeah, I don't know not that I started that long ago, but I'm pretty new at this anyway.
I'm Nick.
Adam.
How you doing, Adam? You new at this?
Yeah, it's about 3 weeks now.
Oh man, well congratulations.
No trout yet. I did this.
Let me see what you got on there.
I was tying this.
All right. That looks like a purple haze, or Adam's. Yeah, that's an Adam's parachute.
And I think I dropped my other one. I had a little nymph on the bottom. I was doing about 6 feet under.
Right.
I was here yesterday, and I wasn't wasn't doing anything. I should have put the nymph on yesterday. I think I would have been alright.
Well, I will say this is that I don't see the nymph, but I'll tell you what. Let me give you one. Here you go. Take this one.
You sure?
Yeah, positive. Trust me. The that is pretty heavy, and it's going to go right down to the bottom. Now that it might even pull that under. What are you putting on that to keep it up? You got some floatant?
I have some cheap spray floating from Walmart, but
cheap spray.
That's not good.
No.
That's not good.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you something else then.
Yeah.
This is floating. You can take that. That's my spare one. What you
sure?
do is, yeah, I'm positive. Trust me. The so all you're gonna do is just put a little bit in your fingers, right?
Yeah.
Here, I'll show you. We shake it up a little bit, and we put a little bit on here just to see how much I'm putting on.
Yeah.
And you just rub it here, and then you just want to hit just the hackle.
Really?
Yeah. Now here's one thing I'll say is that I wouldn't use this dry fly. I would just use the nymph.
Yeah.
I would. That's how I would start. Hold on to that. If you ever want to fish dry flies, you got that. But I would, without a doubt, fish what's called tight lining, which is it's just a nymph, straight down, nothing in between. And I'll tell you why. That is cool because you can see it when it goes down. You're like, oh, bam, I got something. But don't worry about that because you want to be able to control the depth because they're always going to be on the bottom, always. And if I were you, I'd go that way. Yeah, that's you want plunges after rocks or fast runs. See, this is too slow.
Yeah.
And what you want to do is you want the nymph to be in back of the rod. So water's going this way.
Yeah.
You want the nymph to be here. If the nymph's over here and the fish grab it, you're not going to know because you're moving the rod this way. And there's slack here, right? So what you want to do is you want to put it in and lead it. Lead the rod. Don't drag it because you don't want to go faster than the current. You just want to be in front of it. And then what happens is that your rod's going to go over the fish. Fish is going to grab the nymph and your rod's going to keep on moving and it's going to set it. It's going to set it automatically. And that's called tight lining. So you just drop it in, lead. Just drop it in, lead. And when you get good at it, you're gonna feel it through the rod. You're gonna feel it tick the bottom. Because it's going to be hitting the bottom, bang, 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 and you're going to just feel it vibrate through the line. It takes some getting used to, but when you use that dry dropper system, you can't control depth. It's one depth. It's whatever that distance is. You know what I mean? Adam, right?
Yeah.
All right, Adam.
Thank you so much.
I would say that's some good advice, and stick with it. Stick with it, and I think that you'll do good. You just gotta don't get frustrated when you don't catch anything. Throw this thing in your pocket here too. It's got my name on it and my email address. All right.
Awesome. Do that. Thank you so much.
Yep. Good luck. There's the guy. First trout. I don't believe it. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Can't believe it. I'm like, I can't, I don't even know how happy I am right now. I feel like I just caught a 24. I mean, unbelievable. 3 weeks, never caught a trout.
Yeah.
You talk to him for 2 seconds, you explain some things, you give him a fly, you tell him to do this, this, and this, he goes in, 2 seconds later, bam, he's catching a fish. This son of a bitch, he's got another fish. This guy, I tell you, man, he's cleaning up now. And not just one fish, now he's got a second fish over here. This is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. I wish I was on that side. My friend said you got a third one.
Yeah. Fourth got off, actually.
You got...
Freaking awesome, man. Thank you. Dude, that feeling when you get it, it's freaking
when
amazing.
you got the first one. But that's really cool. So you used that nymph I gave you.
Yeah.
And just the nymph.
Exactly.
Thing sunk to the bottom.
Freaking awesome.
You just did. And I'm going to tell you another thing. Here's one reason why you got all those fish. I'm going to tell you is that you didn't get in the water. You were standing on that rock. So in reality, the fish didn't know what was going on. You know what I mean? If you would have been standing like right next to them, or even just in the water, once you step into that water, these fish get a lot of pressure. We see how many people are here, right? So they hear that noise, but bunk, you know what I mean? They're on high alert. You were casting to them over the rock.
Right.
And they had no clue what was going on. All of a sudden, their buddy goes up, and they're like, "What happened?" Even when you get a pair of waders, remember that you kind of got to be sneaky sometimes. Sometimes you don't have to be, but I think you caught all those fish in a row because you were being sneaky, being on that rock. He hooked the fourth one, but it got off. So how many casts did it take to get that first one you got?
Maybe 5, I'd say.
And on the fourth cast, were you like, what am I doing? Am I going to catch anything? Did that thought go into your head at all?
He wasn't that far yet.
Actually, I was pretty confident.
You're pretty confident.
I knew you knew what you were doing. He told me what to do.
Yeah, he told me.
And I did it.
That's good. He says, I've never been so fucking happy.
I'm telling you.
He's over there saying, I've never been so happy.
It
was good.
The first one I ever caught on the fly. You've seen it.
Yeah, that was cool.
You guys walked up right in time, too.
Yeah.
That's freaking awesome,
I'm
man.
glad we just came out, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, you said it.
Yeah.
You said, Christ, he's fucking got one already.
How many times have you been fly fishing? You said 3 weeks, but how many times is that?
Probably 3 or 4 times a week.
3 or 4 times a week.
Oh, no.
So he's doing 6 or 7.
And today's your first one.
Is that looks like a Orvis rod or something,
yeah,
right?
It's Orvis.
It is, right?
Yeah, Encounter. Orvis Encounter.
Encounter, right? Okay, yeah. Right, exactly. That comes with the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Well, I would say that was a smart move, getting the whole setup. You can get really freaking, it can get really confusing with all the different rods. It really can. And what did the whole thing cost? You said it was like $200 bucks or something?
$60 for the course, and they give you this.
$160 altogether. That's worth it. That's worth it. Orvis makes good stuff, so I think you did all right. Now you got oh yeah, you're gonna go around. All right, man. So that was a cool video. That sort of made the trip. I mean, if I didn't catch another fish the rest of the trip, I still would have been happy because of that. I'm glad I did catch fish. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad I caught fish. Another 3 days without catching fish would have been rough, but that did make the trip. And 3 weeks, no trout. That's tough. Guy kept going though. Here's something interesting that I hope everybody thinks about when they watch that video is that Adam was very honest. Did you notice that? He was honest. When I came out of the water, I mean, he basically said, I don't know if you could hear it, but he basically said, hey, don't worry about blowing up the pool because, I don't know what I'm doing, you know what I mean? I've been fishing for 3 weeks and I haven't caught any trout and, and so that's why I introduced myself.
and that's why I tried to offer him advice. And maybe that was his way of asking for advice, was to say that, and not like, hey, can you tell me what I'm doing over here? You know what I mean? It's easier to say, oh yeah, you know, I haven't had much luck. So he was very honest. Now, a lot of people in fly fishing, they're not that honest. And maybe they fudge the truth a little bit. And it's those people that there's no point in even asking advice. I mean, giving them advice. There's no point in giving advice to those people because, you know, their ego is in the way of them telling the truth. And their ego, that's that same ego, it would be in the way of them accepting advice. They just, you know, it's not worth it. But Adam, he wanted advice. He didn't have an ego. He was very honest. And you could tell that he wanted the advice because he took it and immediately put it to use and caught fish, right? He wanted the advice. You knew that because he did exactly what I said. He was going up. I told him to go down. He went down. I told him to take the dry fly off and not use a dry dropper and just use the nymph straight down. He did it. And I told him to lead the rod. He did it. Everything I told him to do, he did it, and then he caught fish. So he wanted the advice, and he listened to it. I think, even me, I think that accepting advice sometimes is good, even if maybe you don't think it's right. Hey, what does it hurt to try it a few times? Maybe you are wrong. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you are wrong. So, being able to accept advice, even bad advice, it's a good, I'm not gonna say skill, but it's a good trait. It's a good trait to not always think that you know what's right. I think I'm gonna leave it at that. All right, thanks.